Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you one of my go-to makeup looks for the office. This is a talk to tutorial, and if you want to stick around and watch my many quirky facial expressions, feel free. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that you are notified of any future videos. I've already cleaned and moisturized my face, and now we are ready for Smashbox Primer Water. This stuff is amazing and I like to saturate my face in it evidently. After that dries, I'm using the Stila one-step corrector. I probably use too much and I'm not sure that I see much of a difference, but I love the colors. I do speed up some of the application processes in the interest of keeping this tutorial on the shorter side. At the moment I have a lot of imperfections to try and hide, so we're using a lot of product to have a more even skin tone to work with. There are times that I will apply another pore concealing face primer over this just to blur the skin a little bit more. Once that is all smoothed into my skin, it's on to the next step in my face decoration process. For my foundation, I'm using Urban Decay's Naked Skin in the shade 2.0, pumping that onto my metal palette. The camera makes my face look as if I'm not applying my foundation evenly across my whole face, but in reality I actually am. I think it's the vanity lighting that's doing that. It's not being very kind to me. Here I'm using a Sephora blending sponge to apply my foundation, but I'll also use a foundation brush depending on what foundation I'm using. With thinner consistencies such as the Naked Skin foundation line, I find that a damp beauty sponge doesn't waste as much product. Just a little bit more blending here into the skin, and then we're off to hide those unsightly blemishes, and I cannot wait. Next, I'm going to go on with my first concealer, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Neutral. We are working with quite a few red spots that are still showing under the foundation layer, so I pat this concealer into my skin with a beauty sponge before I go in next with one of my all-time favorite concealers, the e.l.f. Complete Coverage Concealer Palette. I'm not even sure if they still carry that on their website, but it is amazing. Mixing a few of the shades provides better coverage as it's kind of a thicker formula, and so it hides a little better. Dab, dab, dab. We can play connect the dots on my face at the moment, but we all have those days when flawless skin is elusive and we have to improvise with lots of concealer. I forgot to show the product, but now I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in the shade Peach. Sometimes I'll add the pink shade as well on top of the peach while it's still wet, and then blend those two together at the same time, but today I opted to try the peach solo. After blending that in, I realized that my dark circles needed a little bit more help in the hiding game, so I'm going in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the shade Medium. I just got this concealer this weekend, and this is the first time I'm using it, and the struggle to get that thick concealer out of the tube was very, very real. I'm not sure if it made much of a difference, nor am I sure that I'm applying it correctly since it's my first time to use it, but it seemed to work very well after a lot of blending in. After noticing that my foundation had settled on my eyelids, I tried to wipe that away before giving up. I decided to go ahead and dab some Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion on my eyelids so that it can get a little tacky before going in with my Naked Skin color correcting fluid in the shades pink and green. My husband is off to the side playing on the iPad and cracking corny jokes about how many layers of makeup I'm putting on. I use the pink Naked Skin color correcting fluid to act as another highlighter, drawing it all over my face like I'm getting ready for the circus. I read somewhere that if you only put highlighters directly under the eye, It actually tends to accentuate the fact that you're covering dark circles. But if you draw an upside down triangle, then it helps because when you blend it in, you also bring the highlighting color down the face a little and doesn't seem to make a half moon shape under your eyes. I don't usually use the green all that often because I do sometimes feel a little paranoid that other people can tell if I don't blend the green out enough. The green shade is very pigmented in my opinion and sometimes a little scary to use. What do you think? Now let's blend this Jackson Pollock-like mist into some Monet-like softness. Yeah, I still look like a hot mess. Oh my goodness, the faces I'm making. Going in with the Tarte Smooth Operator Setting Powder all over my face, just for good measure. Because I use a concealer to cover the many blemishes on my face, I powder the whole face with just a light dusting. I'll also sometimes go over the face slightly with my Urban Decay Powder Foundation using light neutral, just to give it a little bit more color if I feel that I've overdone the color correcting bit. Now it's time for the Ulta Contour Kit. Going to go ahead and make my face look even muddier than the camera is making it look right now. I'm nowhere near the level of knowing how in the world to use bronzer correctly, so I tend to just stick it anywhere I feel needs more color, around my forehead, the sides of my face, as well as my lower cheek area and jawline. I even draw a couple lines down the side of my nose as well. How's this for looking a little cartoonish? And then a little bit more on the cheeks just because we need to look a little bit muddier. I think it's time to put some bright color on my face now. Yes. Now for the part that scares my husband. Using the Tarte Tartiest blush palette in several shades, it looks like I overdid my blush. Again, hoping to join the circus maybe. I like mixing the shades a little to give it a unique color combination. Little story here. When I was growing up, this is exactly how my mother applied her blush, only I don't think blending was a thing in the 80s. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. Because we can, I'm going to follow that blush job up with the Tarte Park Avenue Princess pink bronzer. But there is a method to my madness here. I blend this in mixing my bronzer and blush so that it lightens it, and then I go back and add a little bit more bronzer. We need muddy. It is still a little shocking right now, so I use a denser brush to apply the bronzer and to blend that hot pink mess into some shape. Going in with TheBalm's Manizer Sisters palette, I try to do some damage control with that blush high on my cheekbones, and then decide to just go ahead and highlight my whole face while we're at it. Now the brows. I use an Ulta brow pencil in the lightest shade and try to fill in those sad things. I am not one for deep brow color, so pale is the name of the game for me. Here I am acting like I know how to do my brows. Using the NYX Eye Shadow Base in white and a random flat eyeshadow packing brush to smooth it all in. The favorite part of my facial decorations is about to begin. Let's go ahead and create my blank canvas. Smoothing it all out a little bit more and then adding some extra to the inside of my eyes. We're ready to begin the next step in this thing. Here comes the Tarte Double Duty Beauty in Classic Courage palette. and it is one of my favorite everyday palettes. Using a fluffy brush, I'm applying the Rise and Shine as an all-over transition color. Just blending it back and forth all over my lid, making sure that it's an even distribution. This color works as a base to so many other eyeshadow looks as well. I really like it. It's very, very soft. It also helps that it smells great as well. Using an e.l.f. crease brush, I'm applying the Trailblazer shade in the crease from outside to in, trying to make a graduated halo effect. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. Trust me, it looks worse before it gets better, but it's all about the blending in this case. Using a small e.l.f. blending brush, I'm going to pack on the shade Lucky Penny to the center of my eye. This shade is so striking and looks really, really good up close. Now taking a fluffy blending brush again, I'm going to apply the Rosy Outlook shade to the crease area, blending all of the shades together at the crease line and then kind of blending up a little bit. Then going in with the Rise and Shine shade again on a flat brush. I'm going to work it on my brow area and on the inside corner area of my eyes to kind of make it a little brighter there. It looks even to me. So checking for any fallout, I use a small fan brush to make sure the area is clean before moving on. I'm now going to use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Muse to do a horrible job of applying and smudging my favorite eyeliner brand. I love the pencils as they are forgiving to a degree, but I do hope to feel more confident soon with the gels and liquid liners. I'm going to give those wing liners a try eventually. Using a flat eyeliner brush, I'm going in with the Tarte Double Duty palette shade Smile On around the lower lash line, trying to soften up the eyeliner a little bit. Then I'm taking the shade Lucky Penny from that same palette and adding a little more color to the lower lash line, giving it some dimension or depth or something. Now I'm using the new Urban Decay 24/7 gel eyeliner pencil in Heartless in my inner corners. I think this shade really makes the inner corner pop. I love that it's so pink. Onto the Urban Decay Subversion Mascara Primer. I applied just one coat of that to the top lashes generally, and let that dry, turn a little clear as it gets tacky and ready to hold the mascara. Now I'm using the Benefit They're Real mascara in the shade Brown. I don't use false lashes as my lashes are pretty long and full for the most part. Also, the one and only time that I used them, it felt like they were blowing around in the car air conditioner while on my way to work. It was a little unnerving having them wave at the people in the other cars passing by. Now I'm just using a spoolie just to make sure they're all spread apart. Next, I'm applying the Too Faced Lip Insurance Lip Primer. It's one of my favorite primers. It doesn't smear or run outside the lip where you place it. Now that the primer is drying and tacky, I'm going to be covering it with a Tarte Matte Lip Paint in TBT. Of course, I'm going to be going outside the lip line since I have some awkward shaped lips. Then I'll be using my Naked Skin Concealer, again in light neutral shade, to do a little bit of the cleanup. There needs to be some cleanup. And the cleanup begins. My lips are uneven, and so when I rub them together, one side of the lipstick tends to smear. Using the concealer helps to avoid rubbing off your foundation when fixing your lip mistakes. Oh, don't I look too cute and innocent here? Right. Yes. Here comes the majestic main release. Close-ups and Urban Decay's All-Nighter Setting Spray. All of the products used will be listed down below. Obviously, with this being my first makeup tutorial, all of the products were purchased by me. None of the products used are sponsored, but I sure wouldn't mind if they were. Hint, hint, Urban Decay. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video, comment below, subscribe to my channel. Let me know if there's any other videos that you would like to see. Thank you. Bye-bye.